as well, because this is something that can really help with reading as well as listening. So I'm going to share my screen. Does everyone see my screen here? Does everyone see this?
Yes.
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, so we're going to start off by talking about prediction. Oops. Prediction of meaning. Then, guys, we're going to go into groups, and I want you guys to guess meanings or predict meanings, predict vocab. Then at the end of this class, I will, of course, give you the answers, predict vocab. But let's start with a quick game. All right, so let's going to start with a quick vocabulary game. This is actually my morphology game. Very simple. I'm going to type a word, and I want to see who is the fastest in this class for identifying what type of word it is. Is it a noun? Is it a verb? Is it an adjective? So, for example, if I say inform, what's that?
Verb.
Khalid is first there. He's saying this is a verb. Okay. What if I say imaginative?
Adjective.
An adjective. And Muhammad Ali, you've raised your hand, sir. So I'll stop. You okay?
Hey, I'm okay. Sorry, I was just trying to answer the question. Sorry.
All right. During this stage, you can just shout out. All right, and you will notice, Mohammed, that I'm with my questioning in my classes. I'm going to ask you directly a lot of questions. Okay, so sometimes hands go up, but sometimes I'm just going to ask you. Guys, as fast as you can. To.
Preposition.
Preposition.
Okay, the.
Article.
Article.
Layla, very nice. Article. Okay. What about this?
Who
Pronoun.
relative pronoun.
Relative pronoun.
Question as well.
Okay, what about something like erratic?
It's adjective.
Adjectives.
It's an adjective. Why is it an adjective?
I see.
I see.
I see. Last I see.
Tick.
And Anthony, what does erratic mean? What does it mean?
Tick.
Anyone help him? What does erratic mean?
Not regular.
Simulative.
Changing all the time. Okay. All right. What's this? Erratically. What's that?
Adverb.
It's a
Irregular.
Adverb.
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 Adjective. Irregular. Irregular.
It's not an adjective. It's an adverb because of this. What's this called?
Ly.
Not called ly.
Suffix.
Suffix. Sorry.
Suffix. Yeah.
It's called the suffix. Okay, so the word endings, of course, they tell you what. Very often, they tell you what type of word it is. Okay, let's try some OET, style. What if I say assistant?
Verb.
Noun.
Now.
Khalid, you answered so fast. I hadn't even finished typing. Okay, so it's not a verb, is it, guys? What is it?
Noun.
Right. Again, we know if you say the answer before you can actually see it on the screen, you're not going to know, right? This is a noun. Okay. What does it mean? Assistance, Farouk?
Help.
Help.
yes.
Support.
Help. Support.
What about
To
this?
give help.
What about this?
Adjective.
Adjective.
Adjective. And again, it's actually quite easy, isn't it? When you know the suffixes, it becomes quite easy, right? Supportive is always informative, imaginative, supportive. They're all adjectives, right? Okay, what about this is more difficult now then. What about this?
It's modal words.
Auxiliary. Modal verb.
Modal verbs, very nice.
Yes.
Modal auxiliary. Okay, what about this?
To be word.
Primary auxiliary.
To be word.
Listen to Farouk. Farouk, what's this again? This is a
It is primary auxiliary.
To be.
primary. So primary auxiliary, you have modal auxiliary and you have primary auxiliary. How many primary auxiliaries are there?
3.
8.
There's 3.
Have.
What are they?
Is are.
Be. Do.
Have,
Have to.
Do.
do. Okay, bonus question. Who can tell me, maybe Muhammad Ali or Anthony, Carmen, Fariba, what is the job of primary auxiliary verbs? Why are they primary? Carmen, do you know this? Muhammad Ali? Anyone? Mary? What is
Connect with main verb. Connect with the main verb.
They do connect, but they have a job.
Question.
Past
They
negative.
are used in questions, but they have a job. They have a specific job in English.
State, it shows the state.
To do.
Guys, they create the tenses. Did you not know that? They create all English tenses.
Yes.
For example, look, let's make a tense. I have eaten. What tense is that?
Present
Perfect.
I am running. What tense is that?
Continue.
Continuous.
Continuous.
So we use be verb for continuous tenses. Okay. What if I say, I like chocolate? What's the auxiliary
Simple.
verb?
Present simple.
Present simple.
Like.
Actually, Alain, auxiliary means help a word, which help to make a sentence.
Exactly. What's the auxiliary for I like chocolate?
Like.
State.
Guys, it's do. It's do. Because this is
Yes. Do
Present
you like chocolate when you are creating this
exactly. Present simple uses do in the question and the negative. Right? Do you like? I do not like. Okay. You can also say I do like. Do you know that?
To emphasize.
Yeah,
Yes,
but-
to emphasize.
Yes.
So do creates the simple, present simple, past simple. Have creates the perfect tenses, and be creates continuous, and also passive voice. Okay. Anyway, this is just a bit of a game. So let's get started with this anyway. So it's not a grammar class. I think an important thing in reading and also listening is this. And when I did my OET training, I am an official OET teacher, they did emphasize that this is really important. So what is prediction of meaning? Let's talk to Gloria. Gloria, what do we mean by prediction of meaning, Gloria?
So when we say you are predicting something, it's just like how you feel or how you understand the thing in your own words. So
Yeah. So for example, if I say, what does this mean? What does that mean? You don't know, right?
no, I don't know.
It's not real, of course.
Yeah.
So there's no way to predict it. Why is there no way? Because we have no...
Clue.
How do we predict meanings, guys?
So
Reading
reading the whole sentence.
Reading the whole sentence. So I call this context, right? We can predict the meaning of words through context. So if I say, I really want to eat... What does this word mean now? I really want to eat a
Food.
It's a food.
It can be a food.
type, probably some
The type of food.
Type of food.
And I say, what if I say,
Pizza.
I really want to eat a burger as I have a big sweet tooth.
It should be dessert. Dessert.
Maybe it'll be dessert, okay? So context is one of the main ways to guess the meaning. But there's another way to guess meaning. What about this? What if it says, I see. I see.
Suffix.
Exactly.
This is a suffix, right? So what is I see? Like
Adjective.
an adjective.
Yeah.
Okay. What do adjectives do?
Describe now.
Describe noun.
Describe now.
When I know that it's an adjective, I'm thinking this is probably describing me, right? So there's two ways to predict meaning. We can look at suffixes or prefixes, or we can look at context, right? There's two different ways. Is there any other way I can guess meanings? Is there some other
Prefix.
way? Prefixes, yeah, but is there some other way I can guess the meaning of a word?
If we have articles, for example, to have
It's called.
Oh, Mary, go on. Just Mary, please, go on. If we have an article, I never thought of this.
For example, in this sentence, we have I am a, that means it's noun because it's article require noun.
Yeah, okay, so let's say suffixes, so suffixes plus articles, yeah. So basically, guys, word type, we can use word type to get the meaning or some of the meaning, right? So we can use suffix, prefix, or articles. Yeah, that's a good point.
Some preposition also, sir.
Yeah, okay. Is there any other ways to guess meaning of words?
Yes,
That's a good
I
one.
remember you said you can use middle of the word, something.
Yeah, sometimes we might want to talk about the middle of a word.
Yeah.
So if we, let's put this here, middle. I mean, you've got to be careful with this, but you might have a word like this, and it might say something like, what if this says here, course, right? Occasionally that can help. What is a course? You all know, right? So word middles can sometimes be helpful as well. Anything else though? Is there any other way to get the meaning? Word type, context, word middle. Let's look at, oh, go on, Layla.
It was me, Helen. Positive, negative, or
Yeah.
not.
So maybe sometimes you don't know, you really don't know, but you think, is this a good thing or a bad thing? Or sometimes it's not either of those. What's in the middle?
Neutral.
Neutral.
So again, we usually do this from context, but we can start to think, is this a good word? Is this a bad word? I'm going to put this here, positive or negative. Is there anything else we can do?
With this word, course, intercourse, like this is coming prefix.
Prefixes, yeah.
Like intercourse with that one.
Inter, yeah.
Intercourse.
Prefixes. So word type is useful. Context is useful. Word middles is useful. Anything else? Let me show you some, guys.
Alan, can I say something?
Go on,
Is
sir.
it similar with the context clue or the meaning of?
Yeah, so we want to get clues. Exactly right. Clues. So here, I really want to eat. Of course, this is a clue, right? Actually, sir, I wanted to talk today about clue types. That's what I wanted to mention. Clue types. Has anyone ever thought about the different ways you can get clues? Let's think about some. I'm going to give you an example. I have some prepared here. I'm going to give you an example and you tell me what's happening, okay? So let me give you an example here. This is very easy now, okay? Very easy. We'll start with easy. The arid climate, which means dry, made farming difficult. What's the clue?
Arid
Non-defining
climate.
clause. Non-defining clause.
Yeah, but what's happening, which means? What does that mean? What's happening here?
Arid climate.
Which is dry.
It gives the definition.
Definition.
Arid climate.
I told you this one would be easy. This is just a definition. Sometimes definitions are given in texts, right? So let's start with an easy one. A clue type might be that you use a relative clause, Fareed, to define it. Okay, now that's an easy one. But here's another type. Maybe you never thought of this. What about this? The movie was hilarious, extremely funny and entertaining.
Funny and entertainment.
Hilarious.
Hilarious, funny.
Hilarious. O-U-S.
It gives synonyms.
Well, I mean, there's synonyms, aren't there, guys? So hilarious. So sometimes you can get the idea from the other words, right? So I'm going to say synonyms. Or remember, synonyms are not exactly the same, but from this, and even maybe a little bit from this, we can get the meaning of this. Synonyms, okay? Carmen, you said synonyms. Thank you.
Yes.
That is what I wrote.
It was really easy.
Okay, what about this one though, Carmen? Unlike his boisterous friends. What does boisterous mean?
Wow. This is a new word.
Is that
Adjective.
antonyms?
The opposite of
Opposite to
quiet
quiet.
and
Opposite to
reserved.
quiet.
It's an adjective.
Opposite.
But what's the opposite of a synonym?
Antonyms.
Sometimes you can see, if you see some contrast in a text, you can get the meaning just from the contrast, right? So it must be
Antonym.
Naughty.
Confident.
boisterous must be the opposite of this.
Extrovert.
Yeah.
Opposite of
Boisterous just means loud and like talking a lot.
Confident, I would say.
Confident, yeah. Okay, what about this one? Again, some of these are quite easy. Again, this is very easy.
It's a category.
It's just an example.
Yeah.
We've got an example, right? What's a marsupial? It is
The
a
pouch where the kangaroo carry their babies.
Kangaroos.
It's a category like animal.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sometimes you might see examples that might help you get the meaning of the word. So marsupial is not the same,
From the same group.
but it's like that. That's the group. Yeah, exactly. Okay, I've got two more and then we're going to start practicing. What about this one? Due to the deluge, the streets flooded and traffic stopped.
I think it's an inference, isn't it?
It's a kind of inference there, yeah. How though? All of these are inferences, I suppose.
Because of.
Because of. I'm going to call this, guys, cause and effect. All right? What does deluge mean?
Water collection or
Storm or rain.
yeah,
Like
Like flood.
like
from the
water
street.
collected in one area, like a street.
You can see from the effect.
I think it's flooded, isn't it?
It means that's yeah.
The VIA ones, I think.
Yeah, well, it doesn't exactly mean that, sir. Right? You can have a deluge of water, but you can have a deluge of questions. Deluge is just like a lot of things coming.
Like avalanche.
All right. So these are just some examples of clue types. Okay. My favorite one and the best one, though, is this. It's not really a clue type, but the best way of looking for clues is this. And I always say the same thing. Okay. Substitution. What does that mean? Substitution.
Instead of.
Instead of, in place of.
Replace.
So that's a really good way of making yourself think about, all right, what the word might mean. So let's go back to this. I really want to eat. If I put in here pizza, does it make sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or bread?
No, pizza, not sweet.
Yes.
No.
No, it should be sweet.
No, yeah, it doesn't, does it? Right, it has to be. So substitution.
Like ice cream or like
Chocolate.
Yeah, exactly.
Or chocolate.
So I talk about this all the time. One way to get the meaning is just to imagine it's not there and substitute other words and think, does that fit in? If the word is fitting in, then maybe you have some idea of the meaning. Okay. Now, this is all so important because, just to finish, I'll take some questions in a minute, but this is important because we're teaching the OET exam. Will you know every single word on exam day? No way, it's not possible. So it's always good to practice guessing. You don't need to have 100% understanding of a word, right? In order to get the right answer. In fact, many native speakers will not know 100% the meanings of words. Let me give you an example. I teach IELTS, and recently, what was the word? I found a word. I thought I knew what it meant, but I really didn't know exactly what it meant. And I'm a native speaker English teacher. Okay, so I sometimes find words where I'm slightly wrong, but I know enough to get the right answer. Okay, so it's the same with you guys. Yes, you might not get 100% what this is, but you can get close enough to get the answer. Okay. Now, Carmen, you've been very patient, waiting to ask a question. So I'll take a question from Carmen. Go on.
What do you mean by big sweet tooth?
This is an idiom. Does anyone heard this sweet tooth before?
It's like you have a craving for sweet, or
No, who likes sweets like chocolates,
Yeah.
cakes, everything?
Does anyone here have a sweet tooth? It just means you love sugar.
Yeah.
right?
The
So you're craving
children
for sweets.
have.
Even
Doesn't everyone have a sweet
adult.
tooth? Is it just
Yeah.
me?
Children love.
Mostly children.
Me.
Hussein, do you have a sweet tooth?
Yes, I want to have some.
With tea, do you have sugar in your tea?
Yes, of course, yes.
Is that like normal in Afghanistan, sugar in the tea?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. In the UK, sugar in the tea is not always gonna happen.
We don't do it in England yet.
But we are not eating too much chocolates.
Ah,
You don't want to become fat.
Just one time we use that one. Yeah.
And do you have an idiom for salt also?
But Alan, we instead of that, we do.
We don't actually. It's what a great question. We don't have an idiom for salt, just sugar. Sorry, sir. Yes, question. Who said? Who said Alan?
Is it? I really wanted to eat a chocolate, isn't it?
Yeah, it just means that you really love your desserts and your sugar. I don't know why we say tooth. That's really strange, isn't it? Why tooth? But it's an idiomatic phrase. Yeah, now today we're going to see some more idiomatic stuff because the vocabulary for today is all from the OET listening. In the listening, you do see idiomatic language. What does that mean, by the way? Idiomatic language.
Informal.
Not just one words. It might be like 2 or 3 things.
Sweet tooth is idiomatic. Well, why is it idiomatic? I like sugar. I have a sweet tooth. What's the difference?
It's not
Doesn't have a straight meaning.
It doesn't have a straight meaning, exactly. And idioms are very often, not always, but they're very often informal.
Yes.
Yes, I said.
As big as elephant, for example. Like huge.
Exactly, like I feel as big as an elephant, something like that. Now, unfortunately, in the listening test, in part A, you do get some idioms because a patient might say, I have a sweet tooth. Okay, so what I want us to do today is just learn some vocabulary in groups, but you're going to guess the meanings. You will tell me the meanings today. Okay, I think you can do it. Is everyone ready to look at some real OET language, real vocabulary?
Yes, we are ready.
Okay. Now, today I just to show you that this is all real. This is copy paste from the exam. Okay. We'll do the first one together.
We can't see it. It's very small, I think.
Okay, I'll make it bigger when you go into the groups. Can you see that first one?
Yep.
Yes.
Many patients as well as.
Okay, so I'm going to do an easy one to start with, but I'm going to take Gifty. Gifty, could you say hello?
Hello, Alain.
Okay, so opted to, is that a noun, verb, or adjective?
Opted to. Verb.
Is it guys, is it a verb?
Yeah, it's a verb.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay,
the verb. Yeah.
Yes.
I can think about, of course, now I'm thinking about that was the type, right? Thinking about word type. I can also think about maybe words in the middle or prefixes. Gifty, do you see any word here that maybe you know already? Maybe, do you feel like you know this? Opt?
From last week.
Just Gifty?
Yes.
You do. What does opt mean?
Opt.
Opt out or something like that. You're not sure? Okay.
Also out.
Like select or choose.
Okay, so we found a part of the word, maybe we know what it means already, but we have this preposition, so we have to be careful. Could be a phrasal verb or something like that. The next thing would be, let's think about context, guys, right? This is not exactly cause and effect context, but Gifty, can you see the word because?
Yes.
because I feel it needs to be looked at by a range of medical specialists. So maybe this is good context. Maybe this is a good clue, Gifty. What do you think opt to means? This is an easy one, by the way. What do you think it might be?
This is because. I'll read the question again.
Yeah, have a read. I've opted to focus on this condition because I feel it needs to be looked at by a range of...
I choose to focus.
Does it just mean choose, guys? Everyone, is it just choose?
No,
Memorize.
It can be decision.
I have to
have
opt
decide.
to.
Have decide.
Opt can be choose, or it can be decide as well, yeah. I opt to decide. But these are all synonyms, aren't they? These are all kind of the same ideas, okay? So that's an easy one. Guys, what I want you to do in groups is try to guess the meanings of these words today, okay? And I'll give you time to discuss it.
Alain?
Look for clues, look for word type, all of the things we discussed. Farid, yes, sir. Formal structure for these types of classes.
Okay, so here I am with Edwin. Hi, Edwin.
Hey, Paul.
Hi, nice to see you. Okay, so Edwin, you are an OET hero, is that correct?
That's correct.
Okay, super. So where do you live?